Thanks for watching Paradise Press JA. I recently had the privilege of going to see the documentary Dalton's Dream at the Inside Out Film Festival here in Toronto, one of the premier LGBTQ film festivals in Canada. I've been following Dalton's career in entertainment ever since he came to notoriety in the UK and the US by becoming a standout contestant on the 15th season of the X Factor UK in 2018. Dalton would gain international acclaim for his soaring vocals and range, and because he was born and raised in Clarendon, Jamaica, he became a star in Britain as well as back home in Jamaica. I clearly remember the greater Jamaican diaspora cheering him on social media, and when he won the competition, Jamaicans universally celebrated him. But it seemed like the minute he became more comfortable exploring his sexuality, the more his Jamaican support began to deteriorate. This film and documentary explores and depicts how Dalton was dealing with the backlash of being shunned by his Jamaican fans after winning X Factor. There were so many touching moments in this film, especially when Dalton goes back home to Jamaica and connects with some of the loved ones who raised him. Dalton was never shy about sharing his abusive upbringing from his birth family, and the documentary goes into much more detail about the terrible things he endured as a child in his large working-class family. Luckily, he was taken in by a family in his later years who looked out for him and encouraged him to pursue his musical talents. It was also nice to see in this film how Dalton had already become a local Jamaican celebrity by winning the Jamaican reality competition series Digicel Rising Star in 2010. He would have a few mentors that supported his career in Jamaica and his eventual win on the X Factor, but behind the scenes, some of the Jamaican mentors who were supportive of his career disappeared when he came out to the media. After watching Dalton win X Factor, following his social media, and streaming his music, I had no idea as a casual fan that he was struggling with his mental health after winning the competition. Though Harris was putting his best foot forward, he admitted in tears that he was struggling. I totally felt him when he shared his doubts because him coming out as being gay shouldn't have stolen the shine from his talent. Of course, there are enlightened Jamaicans who have continued to support him, and hopefully he's aware that he's a hero to Caribbean LGBTQ peoples, especially us Jamaicans. But when he went back to perform at the Reggae Sumfest in Jamaica, he heard many insults from the audience, and he even feared for his safety. The irony of this is that convicted drug dealers and murderers like Buju Banton are pardoned by the government and are given a hero's welcome at similar events. But then Jamaicans will cry online and say they don't understand why Jamaica has a violence issue. Dalton never hurt anyone. He just made his relationship with his boyfriend public, and he was treated like a villain, so it's totally understandable that this weighed on his spirit. Dalton was getting bullied by his family and community since he was 5 years old for being gay. Just let that sink in. People want us to believe discrimination against gay people isn't real, but yet he was being bullied for his identity before he was even legally able to consent. And this is true of so many LGBTQ people as well, myself included. Even through it all, like most talented people, I think Dalton is incredibly hard on himself, and he should know he has so much to be proud of in his career and the mark he's left on Jamaican history. Many of our greatest heroes aren't celebrated by the communities they had to leave behind. Just look at Bob Marley. Even he had to leave Jamaica for safety reasons and concerns, and now as a universally celebrated Jamaican hero. I also love that there was so much extra music that Dalton hasn't released, and as a fan of his music, the reggae as well as pop, I wish he'd release an album and really shake things up in reggae music. I could also totally see him becoming a huge star on the dance charts, especially since the dance charts are always lucrative for gay artists. Plus, besides releasing this breakthrough documentary, Harris has been getting into his acting bag, appearing in stage musicals like Maltby and Shire's Closer Than Ever in 2021, and The Drifters Girls in 2023. I think acting in musicals is such a genius move for Dalton to expand his brand and what venues he can act and sing. I really appreciated Dalton sharing so much of his heart in his film Dalton's Dream, and I hope the film is on streaming so more of his fans in the Jamaican community can hear his story.